Raw talk that's gonna leave you well done. Catch us every Saturday on the B-side of the After Party Radio because we're bad like that. Okay. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and there we go. And now that you have all of this sexy info, put the pedal to the metal and
214-717-4827.
All right. YouTube is going.
Good morning, YouTube. What's up? How y'all doing? Good morning.
Hopefully records the whole show. It's been tripping lately. I'm sweating like a dog.
Can't even get a fan.
It's just my body. This weather, my body don't like it.
All right, setting this up. We are live on Facebook.
Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good morning.
Yeah.
What's up?
We see everybody.
Me. You're gonna be right here.
So turn it just a little.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the
Turn to get the actual
camera.
Yeah.
Why do I want to turn it any more than I already have?
There you go. Just to get her in this little corner right here. Come
Let's
on.
move down. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? What's up, everybody? Good morning. Today's show is sponsored by Mash Gay.
Oh, hell no, that's too low.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for watching today's show. It's entitled Money, Power, and Color Part 2. Give us some likes, give us some hearts, give us some wow emojis and some smiley faces. Come on,
Just like it, love it, share it.
Yeah, make sure you share our post as well.
You don't see all that.
Of course they see me. Do you know if I am not here, the first thing they say is where is Q?
They say that to you.
Money, Power, and Color Part 2.
Look, I ain't got no mascara on today, but y'all can't see that, so I'm good.
I like this though. Your fro is so versatile. I love your hair.
Thank you. I had to wash it extra last night. Oh my Lord. And I had it wrapped up, but Lord. Dirt. Look, even my hands. I still got to manicure my hands when I get home. I was slaving yesterday. Slaving.
Yeah. You doing yard work.
I know.
Why?
What's up? What's up?
Because
What's up? Good
I ain't got no
morning.
yard,
What's up,
man. That's
Steve?
why.
Good morning.
Somebody
What's up,
got to
Mikey?
do it.
Good morning, everybody.
I can't have my yard looking a mess.
Hard.
Woo. I tell you what.
Stand by.
Good morning. Good morning.
I ain't got that
Stand
kind of
by.
money yet. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
See you with your black card.
I know, right? My black card. Everybody got a black card these days.
Give us some hearts, give us some lights, all that good stuff. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Good morning, good morning.
Oh, well. Well, come mine. My personalized seat.
Oh. Yeah.
I saw somebody, though, they did extra on theirs. I was like, what?
So we have to move the camera anyway.
No, that's just you. I told y'all.
It's just me.
That's just you.
Yo, what's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Master Gas Talk Radio Show. This is your boy Q, and I am here with the MTG crew on this morning. Say what's up, Miss Sunshine.
Good morning. What's up? Sorry, y'all. We comparing black cards this morning.
They can play, y'all can play black cards.
Don't you got one? Everybody got one.
My boy Hendrix is in the building with me this morning.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Most swag is on the way. Y'all know it's late as normal. And so we're going to go ahead and get cranking with the show real quick. But you know what? I'm going to switch things up just a smidget, just a quick second. Just a quick second.
Where we going with this?
What y'all going to mash the gas on this morning?
Ooh, mash the gas. You know
You want to
what?
mash the gas on anything this morning?
You know what? No.
No?
You know, shady people, okay?
Shady people?
Look,
Okay, but
those
what's
people
up?
that they call themselves your friends, right?
Okay.
But when you need them, they ain't never around. That sound like a song. Hold up. What about your friend?
Oh, so you gonna say TLC?
I was thinking a little old school. Friends.
Now,
How many of us have them?
Right. But
Right.
no, for real. And I know a lot of my friends are busy. You know, we are all busy. We all got our lives and stuff. But look, don't call me when y'all need some yard work done. Don't call me when y'all need your house painted. Don't call me. Don't call me. You can't come over and help me. I can't help you. Sorry.
You paint houses and cutting yours. You come over to my house.
You gonna help?
No,
gonna
I
come
mean,
over and
but
help
you
me?
my friend.
I know, but did you come over and help me?
Well, no, but
Look, I
you
busted
offering.
it yesterday.
Oh.
You lucky I'm in here today.
But I'm-
Shoot.
but-
Arms hurt, legs hurt, back sore.
You sound like you had a one of them freak nights.
I wish it was. I wish it was.
You got anything you want to match gas on this morning, bro? We hadn't done it in a while. so,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm still taken aback by Miss Sunshine's comments, but okay.
Order up.
Yeah, order up. But you know what? At this point, I know we usually vent when we mash the gas and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but at this point in time, man, I am blessed and highly favored because it could always be worse.
It could always be worse.
Right.
Yes.
That's what's
so,
up, bro.
So if I'm gonna mash the gas on anything, I'm gonna mash the gas on people that don't. I know depression is a real thing. I've
Mhm.
experienced it myself. However, you know, it's easy for one person to say, "Oh, just get up, shake it off, and get moving." It's not always that easy. But don't wallow in it.
Right.
Don't wallow in it. Have
Right.
your pity party. Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
But at some points, you gotta start making a move, and it don't have to be like a grand gesture or anything. Take it one step at a time. Hey, get up out the bed, take a shower. You know?
That's a big thing for
Yeah.
people with depression.
It is.
People
Right.
people laugh, but no. Shoot,
Get up.
when you're depressed,
Get up out the
You
bed,
really
take
wanna
a
bathe?
shower.
you will
Yeah.
wallow in your funk for days.
For days?
For
Yeah.
days.
Wow.
Days. Get up
Wow.
out the bed, take a shower. You might do something like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna change the sheets on my bed and make my bed up.
Okay.
Do
Good
little steps that'll help you feel like you've accomplished something.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm going with that.
Well, I tell you what, if anything, if I had to mash the gas on anything this morning, I think that I would mash the gas on people who think they in love with two people at one time.
That's impossible.
You know what?
It's not impossible.
I don't think that that's impossible. But let me tell you what gets on my nerve about it. And maybe that's another conversation we need to have one day. What gets on my nerve about it is the fact that you be confused between the two people, then you call me with it. Like I'm supposed
Yeah,
to, like
you
I mean,
need-
like
you
I'm
need to be
supposed to.
calling them two people.
I mean, like
Why
I'm
you calling
supposed to.
somebody outside
Like
of
I'm
it?
supposed to help you make up your mind with this. I mean, I'm like, come on. Like, if you like this one, like this one. If you like that one, like that one. But see, sometimes, what's explained to me is that, one person may like one side of you, the other person may cultivate to another, or gravitate to another side of you.
Mhm.
So I'm just thinking like, okay, well, if you want both of these people, or whatever the case is, then why don't you just take yourself out the equation and let them move on with their life? What's so hard? Why are people so selfish like that?
You
That
can
you
do
got to
that.
have two people.
But what if those
you know,
two
hanging
people
on
want
you.
you?
I mean, well, I'm sure
If
they want you if they
but I mean,
into
if you
you.
have two people that want you and they okay with the two people, the other person being involved, what's wrong with that?
See, I believe that you like three ways back in the Bible.
I ain't never
days.
had one.
You ain't never
had
had no three-way before?
Never.
Bless your heart,
Never.
baby. I ain't gonna even tell my business.
That is
Bless
one
your
never that I will never drink two.
heart.
Well, no, let me not
I've been
say
saying,
never.
you can't never put nothing past you.
Let me
Okay,
not
that's what I'm
say
saying.
never.
Let's move on with the show real
Yes,
quick.
please.
Yeah. Today, the topic of our show is Money, Power, and Color Part 2, MTG style. Listen, we're going to be jumping right on into the conversation real quick. Let's start a little closer to home today. Let's talk about Beto O'Rourke and Julian Castro for President of the United States 2020. Now, real quick, Beto O'Rourke is right now has decided that he's going to run for president.
Right.
Joe Biden is hinting at it, but he still has not said that he was going to run for president,
Right.
and also hinting at Stacey Abrams
Mhm.
to be his running mate, right?
Right.
Okay, so now with Beto looking to enter into the race, I am maybe kind of quite sure that if he does, Texas is going to be behind him probably 200%. I'm
Well-
thinking. The only reason why I'm saying that is because the actual race for Congress was so tight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if he could, have that kind of momentum in Texas, then you could probably only imagine what he could do, around the country.
Well, here's something about Beto. I will give it to him that he raised $6.1 million overnight in 24 hours. I will say that a lot of people in Texas will back him because
Right.
there's nothing else that Texas loves more than having their own president.
Right.
Now,
Right.
even though both
Right.
Bushes were not born in Texas, they made their home in Texas,
Exactly.
Right.
which
right,
is why they have both their presidential libraries here in Texas. And I
Right.
guarantee you that if Beto O'Rourke were to win the presidency, yeah, Texas Tech would probably get his presidential library. But,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But with that being said,
Oh yeah.
you have to cross the hurdle of the fact that Texas, as a whole, is a Republican state.
Mhm.
Texas is a Republican state.
Now,
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
it's slowly turning purple though.
True. Well,
Slowly
if
turning
you
purple.
look at the fact that El Paso, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, all usually vote Democratic. It's the rural outlying areas that usually
The
are
small
rural.
country town.
Yes,
Mhm.
they're usually royal. They're usually Republican, and
The
that's
ones you blink, you
The
miss them,
the
and you just
towns
drive right through.
the
Don't
towns
stop
the
at
towns
night.
that's named Shitwater, Texas,
No.
and Hide Your Hands, Texas.
you making up fake names. I'm talking about Vidor and Orange.
Oh well, yeah.
I mean-
Vidor and Orange, Texas.
Yeah,
And,
I'm talking about back in 2000 when we passed through there going to the NSBE conference. They told us we don't let the sun catch us. Don't let sundown catch you in Vidor. And we was just like,
Mhm.
wait a minute, it's 2000, really?
Yeah.
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 That was really like that. So we hop back on the bus. We got
And also, Beto will present a more progressive presidency.
Mm.
He's already trying to rally up the LGBTQ plus, as it's kind of how it's going now.
Okay.
Because I think they added a couple of more things to it to reverence darker skinned people. Okay, so we'll talk about that later too. But,
Why the darker people, not the bigger people?
well, because you have to
Because
think,
you know that LGBTQ still has a very high.
yeah, but the Rainbow Coalition was created by people who are lighter than you and I.
Oh, I
But
got
that's
you.
okay.
But
So
but
we'll
they
go-
still gonna discriminate against heavy set people.
But
I'm
we'll-
just saying because my boy's a big boy.
We'll come and talk about that later. But like I was saying, Beto will be more of a progressive president. He'll be a little bit more liberal than Joe Biden.
right.
That's also because Joe, I think, still has some conservative. He's still conservative in certain things and certain elements. Like Obama was conservative about certain things.
Right.
Certain things I did not agree with President Obama about. And so, but however, he was still a good president. So I just kind of want to wait across the line to see what everybody's saying first before I say, okay, I want to go with him.
Right.
So I'm just kind of wanting to see what's up with that.
So what about
Definitely.
Julio
I
Castro?
would say-
Because I don't know too much about Julio Castro.
Julian.
Castro.
I'm sorry.
I've read about him a little bit, but I don't know who he is.
Yeah, that's a person who is unknown to me. Yes, I did not do my research. Because I'm kind of still waiting to see who's gonna put their hat in. Once I get a better idea of who's all gonna have their hat in, because I got a feeling there's gonna be like 200 people
Well, there's already 17.
It's already,
See,
it's already 17
exactly.
people.
before I really start narrowing it down. Because basically, my thought process on politics at this point is everybody's going to ultimately be looking out for themselves. Even Obama had his things. So I really want to look for that more progressive person who is out for the people as a whole. Now, I know that you can't please everybody all the time, but I need people to be out of the lobbyist pockets, out of corporation pockets. Politics and corporations should not be hand in hand.
Well, you do understand that the Republicans are the ones that took away the noting where the money came from, and they have these what they call PACs.
Right.
Right.
And then
right.
they're also allowing lobbyists. Now these lobbyists They have to report their donations and gifts and all that. However, there's a lot of under the table stuff that happens.
A lot of it.
And you have to take that part out of politics, because I'm sorry. At the end of the day, a corporation doesn't exist without its people.
Exactly.
The most critical resource to any business is its people. And if you don't understand that as a business person, you're stupid. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're stupid.
And you know, what was that? We was watching when I think I sent y'all a video when the Arkansas senator that we talked about last week.
Right.
You remember when she was talking about they were stating their opinions, and the young man was talking about lobbyists, and he was talking about this is how this country was founded.
Right.
You know, based upon any kind of financial or business decisions and things of that nature, of how the United States was founded. And she, actually stood firm, against the Stand Your Ground law, because when that law was created, it was not created within the mindset of the well-being of the people. It was created really honestly on how to bring more money in, to the state as far as the gun awareness and the gun laws, and not to change them is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
And so
Well,
I think
it was
remember
also
what-
made to create a legal loophole for murder.
Yeah.
You know who backs the Stand Your Ground laws, right?
Alec.
No. No, the
Why?
NRA.
I'm sorry.
They
Yeah, well,
the
yes, NRA.
That's what I was trying to say. The NRA.
And I
yes.
guarantee you,
The NRA.
they back in Alec.
Yeah.
Look it up, ALEC.
Okay.
And since we're talking about that, let's jump to our next topic real quick. Let's go to the poll question.
Okay.
Miss Sunshine, this was your poll question.
My poll question.
This was your poll question.
Uh-oh.
I didn't put one out this week, so this was all on you. So this is what our poll question says, and I think it's going to be, it ends in about 3 days. So if you guys go on our Facebook page and make sure you take our poll question. But this is from the desk of Miss Sunshine. It says, are we becoming too dependent on pharmaceuticals? If given a chance, would you prefer popping pills or a healthier living or homeopathic or holistic remedy? 73% says, give me the natural. 27% says, pills, please.
Right.
Now,
I was actually shocked, 27%. To me, that's
Actually, it's lower than what I thought it would be.
really?
Yeah, I thought it would be more for the pills and less for the homeopathic.
Well, now I'm gonna ask this question though, because I want you to kind of explain your mindset with that. Now, let's talk about, because we're gonna go into how much the pharmaceutical industry is actually really worth. We're gonna be going to that in just a second, and if you don't know, it's somewhere around $900 billion.
Billion.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, talking about your poll question, how could a person, in a sense, really actually decide which is good for them? Because if you think about it, the reason why a lot of people are not, going into more homeopathic remedies is because it's more expensive than meds.
Well, you know what? We say that.
Okay.
We say that. It's expensive as far as time. Because there is a time and process it takes for homeopathic, holistic, even just healthy eating. Because
Okay.
let's face it, if you start doing your research in regards to foods, herbs, spices, all of that, there are healthy things available to you that you can eat on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
so easy, it's easy to take a multivitamin. It's easy to go buy, a ginger pill, or it's easy to, but you know what? It's just as easy to ingest it naturally, but it takes time. It takes
Mhm.
prep work.
It does.
But ultimately, you can cook a healthy meal with all of those healthy things
Mm-hmm.
in less than an hour. And I'm speaking specifically from prep time to cook to clean, an hour.
I used to make my own water. You know, with honestly,
Infused water.
infused water. Lemon water is really good.
Lemon,
Lime,
ginger, and
ginger,
cucumber.
cucumbers.
That is some of the best water.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you understand why the homeopathic process takes so much longer. People say it takes a while, but it takes a while because your body has to transition from being.
So I'm gonna catch up on everybody. How y'all doing? Make sure that you liking, loving, and sharing.
How you doing?
If I'm missing y'all,
You all right?
I apologize in advance. Alicia, good morning. Always joining us. Appreciate you.
You teach me?
Oh, Leslie Gordon.
Oh,
That's
no,
not a
something
name I
wrong with that?
recognize.
So
You
need to
joined
be-
us
okay,
before.
retract that.
Thank you for watching. Miss Lachey.
Okay, bye. I
Tony,
appreciate it.
TC, thank you for joining us again. Miss Stevens, I see you
gotta
there. I
put-
see
gotta put
you.
this on.
Good morning, Jawad. Hello.
I can't do it.
What's up, man? Good morning, y'all. Good morning.
I ain't do that.
Who else is? Oh my gosh. Yolanda, April. Good morning, guys. Miss Ashley, hello. Y'all see Mo behind me in the building. Anthony, Miss Fifi, good morning.
Hey, Fee.
Hello.
So real quick, let me jump on our Facebook. Let me get in front of everybody real quick. YouTube, everybody, what's up, everybody? Hey. So y'all know, y'all give us some likes, give us some hearts, all that good stuff. Make sure y'all do that for us. And check this out. I did a trivia question. What was J.J. Evans on Good Times?
No girlfriend.
He had 5 main girlfriends that he named on the show that had nicknames.
He had
If you
the
can
junkie
name 'em.
girlfriend
No. We talking about just the girlfriends with the nicknames.
who he was gonna marry.
It was 5 common girls
But what
on
happened
the show.
was
If you can name
in the
them,
hotel.
all 5 of
gonna
them,
run away.
with the no Mo, that's the fiance. That she did not have nickname. That was the girl that was shooting up.
Right.
But she wasn't one that had the nickname. JJ had 5 girlfriends that had nicknames to the show. If you can name those girlfriends on our trivia question, you got a prize coming. 5 girlfriends. Now I will give you 2 of the girls. I'm gonna give you 2 of the girls, but you got to come up with the other 3. And one of the girls is of course Boom Boom Belinda. Everybody know about Boom Boom Belinda.
Why, did she have big boobs or something?
Boom Boom Belinda was JJ's first girlfriend that he told James about. Boom Boom Belinda. The second girl that I'm gonna give y'all is Samantha the Human Panther. Samantha the Human Panther. So that's the only 2 you get.
Were those all his girlfriends? I mean,
No, he had.
Y'all didn't see
Shit.
that? Y'all didn't see that?
Okay. Miss Sunshine making me fall.
Just so I understand, JJ had
Sorry, y'all.
girlfriends?
Sunshine making me fall.
JJ had girlfriends?
But you only talking to Facebook though. You gotta talk to
I'm talking on you 5 main girlfriends. I just gave you 2 of them. Boom Boom Belinda and Samantha the Human Panther. I gave you 2 of them. Okay? But you got to guess the other 3. And somebody put on there, somebody put some crazy stuff on there. I'm gonna read some of the comments. But a couple of them is not right.
Show me that thing again.
It's not making me fall.
My bad.
Broke my back.
Broke your back.
Okay, now Mo.
No,
Now you
my
this
bad.
is Mo.
I'm talking about the question, the math question.
Oh.
Mo. Now you know this your segment lead, right?
Yeah.
So you ready? Okay. All right, Mo is ready. Oh, let me get this article. You got the article, Mo? Do I need to get it?
Look, my drink didn't spill. I'm good, y'all. Yeah, we rolling with the wine in a can again, y'all. I'm trying. It's not my first trying on this one. This is my first time sharing it though. It's a wine-based spritzer
Yes.
with aromas of peach and honeysuckle. Let me just tell you.
Barefoot has always been a good wine.
Look, I keep trying them, and I haven't found one yet that I disapprove of.
I think you might just be a wine.
So Mr.
You know?
Will Hackney, of course you already know that your prize has been forfeited. I'm just saying that live.
Your beard
Your beard was
on
on point,
point.
but your timing sucks. Mo, do you need this article or no? You good?
No, sir.
Okay.
You know what? He might be on his honeymoon. I kind of
Well,
looked at his page. It looked like he was newly married. Like
He
maybe-
looked at the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looked at
He looked at the video.
and he actually saw the inbox.
He saw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Well.
maybe he just didn't want it.
Okay.
Okay, stand by.
We give out gift cards. Oh, and I will be mailing her shirt out this week.
Okay.
God, I mean, I didn't forget, but I just, do better than that.
No exponent. Multiplication.
I'm drinking some of Miss Sunshine's Barefoot
0.
Spritzer.
Spritzer.
No
Spritzer.
division. Then you do your add.
All right, everybody, again, jump on that trivia question. Who? JJ had 5 girlfriends. I just gave you 2 of them.
100 minus 0.
Boom Boom Belinda and Samantha the Human Panther.
Good morning, Tammy. I see you.
All right, I gave you 2 of them. What's the other 3?
Hey, we're back. We're
Welcome back,
We are
everyone.
back.
And you were listening to Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud by the James Brown, who had that real long funeral over 5 different states. I'm just saying.
It is.
And
Sure was.
he was an original wardrobe changer. And then you had Keep Your Head Up by my boy Tupac, who is not dead. He is on an island with Biggie Michael Jackson. Okay.
No
so-
bell rings on that one, Mo.
That boy is not dead. All right, so what we're doing is we're going to come back and we're talking about Dallas County. That's in Dallas, Texas. Increase for chlamydia, gonorrhea
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
in Dallas, Texas.
In
Home
Dallas,
of the
Texas.
Cowboys.
Home of the Cowboys.
9th or 10th largest city of America. 4th largest economy of the world. We got the clap.
Got the claps. Got
So,
the claps.
That means you can't have sexual intercourse with nobody
So
without 2 condoms.
Let me read to you with this real quick before we hit you because
A male one and a female one.
Yes,
Check this
it's
out.
2 condoms.
Dallas County saw the highest percentage increase in the nation for cases of chlamydia and gonorrhea between the years of 2016 and 2017. Surveillance report by the Centers for Disease Control. Skipping down here, it says that Dr. Phil Wong, or Hong, or however you say his name,
Hey, okay. Dr.
Yes,
H.
Dr. H called Dallas County's STD clinic appointment line as an experiment to see how long a person can set up an appointment. Check this out. He was on hold for an hour, never got through on a Tuesday. Said that he told commissioners of his plans to significantly increase the county clinic's capacity to see patients. Between 200 and 400 people were turned away each month for the last 2 years. That's not even counting people that's calling in to set up appointments. So we have an increase in the claps, okay? In the claps. You can't call the county clinic and get through. You at least you're on hold an hour. Between 200 and 400 people were sent away per month.
Wow.
Okay, so you're looking
Per
at
month.
2 things here. So you got to delve deeper. You can't be a surface thinking and or reader, right, Reggie?
All right, let's go,
Right.
Mo.
All right, so here we go. Dr. H took over for whom?
That dude.
Who he take over from?
Miss Sunshine, that is-
That dude. I don't live in Dallas County.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so Dr. H took over for a guy. I can't remember his name, but he left.
Are you serious?
Oh!
How you gonna put somebody on the spot and you ain't did your own damn research? Are you serious?
I don't live in Dallas County.
I thought she was gonna come up with the damn name.
So Doctor, okay, so Doctor.
No, let me tell you why this is significant. So listen to this. This is gonna piss you off, colored people.
Okay, color people.
The former Dallas County, what is that called?
Huh?
The former Dallas County,
Come on, you're gonna be real pissed off on this one.
The county health director?
Health director.
The health director? Okay.
His name was. All right, so here it is. His name was Zachary Thomas.
Yes, okay. Zachary
All right?
Thomas,
He
yes.
he served for 20 years at the Department of Health and Human Services. He was not a doctor.
What?
I know.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Was he a pharmacist?
Wait a minute, stop.
Girl, he didn't have.
Stop.
You probably had more signs than
Was,
he did.
was,
Wait a minute.
was he a nurse practitioner or something? No,
He had no
nothing?
letters behind his name.
Wow.
Who was on there at that time?
Well, he did
See,
have a sexual
boys and
assessment.
girls, that is another example of it's not about what you know, it's who you know.
But unfortunately, in Dallas County, in Dallas, Texas, you didn't have to have a medical degree.
Wow.
So now this is what's occurred. The manipulation of numbers,
Mhm.
statistics,
Mhm.
okay? So this doctor, now the Dr. H came in who has an epidemiology background. He understands that it's more about manipulation of numbers to get more funding, to get more money. So he understood that if I say there's been a rise in chlamydia cases for that period, now that's when Zachary Thomas was fired for sexual harassment, allegedly, that year, that 1 year.
I wonder if he had chlamydia or gonorrhea.
Wow.
I'm not sure what that got to do with this, but I'm gonna let it make it because she's drinking something. But what I want you to understand is that you had a non-doctor. You didn't even have a numbers guy. He wasn't even a mathematician. He was just a guy who was there, who spoke on, who was interviewed by the media, and who didn't have subject-verb agreement. Every time he spoke, I would cringe. So he was not the right person he just led the organization. And he let the organization run itself, and it ran itself in the ground. They knew of the problems, but because he was black, they didn't want to remove him for saying he was inefficient because he was the face, the spokesperson. So now they got him on a sexual harassment charge. They booted him out. They didn't let him have his pension. And now all of this information is coming to light. I'm not saying it takes a physician to bring this to light. I'm just letting you know that the manipulation of numbers, along with the fact that they closed down a number of Planned Parenthoods and free clinics,
Right.
is the reason for the increase. Only for that year, though, because they changed the way you input the data.
Right.
So now what they did was they took off, okay, so you have Spanish speaking. You have different languages. They can't help those people, so they send them to other clinics. So they take them off of Dallas County roads and send them to Collin County and other counties. You will find out in another year, because it takes 2 years to get this information. That's why it's like, why are they only doing 1 year?
Right. Right.
So it takes 2 years to get the information. They have to have 2 full years.
Can I just get the Saints to use condoms?
Well, using condoms would help, but
Would help.
It would help, but with syphilis, you can have syphilis for a number of years
Before you show any signs.
before you show any signs.
Well,
And
for-
most people,
Would that be for women though? I guess for guys, we should know. I mean, I've never had syphilis before, so I'm just saying that just looking at those symptoms, I think a guy would know before a woman would.
Statistically, men show symptoms more than women, or faster than women do.
Right. Right.
But then there are those people, men and women, who are what they would call asymptomatic, who show no symptoms whatsoever. So this is why I am a pro, get yourself checked out every chance you get kind of person. Because just because you don't show any signs, if you're out there having sex, you are a potential risk, period. Condoms, any type of contraceptive is not 100%, period, paragraph. Therefore, if you are sexually active, you need to be getting checked annually at the least.
well, let's take that. I want to piggyback on that. Not if you're sexually active. If you're not sexually active for the last year, but you were
If
sexually
you're
active 6
kissing
years ago,
people,
6 years ago,
sexually
5
active.
years ago, but what I want you to do too is women, particularly women. You know how you get your well woman's exam once a year?
I don't know. I've never had a well woman.
Well,
Yes, Mo.
your wife,
Yes, Mo.
when you get married, okay, this is what I want you to do, women, and insurance companies, please don't dog me out for this. Get your well woman's test, check up. 6 months later, go back, call them and tell them you're having lower back pains, so you can get another pap smear. But they're gonna code it differently.
Okay.
Because if you have cervical cancer and you didn't have, if you have cervical, let's say you go on April 15th, but then you have sex or something else happens and you get cervical cancer on April 17th, you got a whole nother year having cervical cancer, which is usually asymptomatic. But if you go every 6 months, that's what I do. I go the first time and then I go 6 months. My lower back hurting. One time the physician assistant said, well, you have a UTI. I said, no, I don't. Because I know what I'm doing. I said, no, I don't. She said, well, here are the antibiotics. I said, no, you're not going to give me antibiotics for something I don't have because you haven't tested me.
Again, pushing pills.
Because you tested me, but you don't have the results. So how are you going to give me something? So anyway, I said, no, you don't. Then my physician at the end of the house was like, Monique. I was like, she's like, come here. I said, what? I said, I have to break them in.
Wow.
Because I said I have a problem with that. Because I've never had a UTI and I'm 50 years old. I've never had a urinary tract infection. So I had to check her. Yeah. I know she feels much better now because I checked her.
And this is the other thing for guys. When you go, you need to go at minimum. Go to the doctor once a year and get a physical.
And call and let them go up your booty, and then let them go up
Actually, you don't have to get. Wait, no. You do not have to get a prostate exam until you're 50. Here's the thing, Martin. This is where being a man.
So if you had one prior to that,
yeah,
you might want to think about your doctor.
Unless they had some issues with their intestines or something.
No, if you had issues with your intestines,
go earlier. Yeah.
If you have a family history of prostate cancer, at 40, you will need to get checked out. However, if you go on an annual basis, you can get what's called a PSA. A PSA will determine how likely you are to have prostate cancer.
That's just a blood test, though, right?
It's a blood test.
They don't have to go up your booty.
No, they do not.
Okay.
Yes. Trust me, you'd rather have a needle than the finger. So, you make sure that you get a PSA test done because they will ask you. And the thing is, you have insurance, it don't cost you nothing because it's preventative.
Right.
So, as a male,
is 100%.
As a male, make sure that you are taking and getting your PSA numbers. You have to, sometimes your doctors, depending on who they are, you have to specifically ask for them, but however.
Word, the old lady words that you had sex with in the post office.
No.
Don't be putting it on at my school.
I didn't blame it on PV,
Yes,
Mo.
you did.
I did not. I said it's where it was.
No. Where were you? Where did you have sex with that old lady?
They probably got it from the mailroom.
Did you catch the clap in the mailroom?
Was it the mailroom? Where did you
Outlook
have
is
sex with her?
good.
Where did you have sex with her?
No.
Where?
I was in a baby doll.
Okay, so blame it on the baby doll.
At a party.
Don't try to say my school did it.
I didn't say that the school did it, no.
Don't be giving my school name out like
that. So what happened is that my first experience, my only experience, not my first, let me take that back. My only experience with that, I was in school, and we were at a party. And so, long story short, I ended up somewhere I shouldn't have been, and I ended up having unprotected sex with someone. And so when I did that or whatever, I went to the school clinic or whatever because I was burning in my pants, no joke. And what happened is that I did come back and it was gonorrhea. So the thing is that at first, let me tell you, as a college student, and I don't care what nobody say, we're all not as responsible. Now, was I taught to be responsible? Absolutely, I was taught to be responsible. But let's just be frank and honest. A lot of us don't exercise responsibility when you drunk or when you having fun. You just don't do that. And you start feeling the feeling and stuff. Things happen. However, that was no excuse. But I will say that it's a feeling that I would want to never ever experience in my life. When I say urinating for real, felt like somebody was sticking me in my pants, like with cactus thorns. It was just awful, and it didn't even take long to develop because you do know that we even though we're talking about chlamydia and gonorrhea arise in Dallas. Another reason that constitutes to the rise is because there are different strands of it. Because now, if there are certain strands that the regular dose won't cure anymore.
They're becoming gosh, resistant.
Yeah, more resistant.
What is
And
the
then,
word I'm
and
thinking
if let's say for example, if you are a person, let's say that regularly catches those,
Mm.
your body builds a tolerance to the antibiotic
There
that
you
they
go.
give you. And so for me, the school nurse, she was very disappointed in me. First of all, which I was disappointed in myself. And she told me, she says, the reason why it took, now within men actually, according to the CDC, it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 days for the symptoms to start manifesting. If it's less than 36 hours, then there was a different culture of gonorrhea.
Mm.
Okay, so I developed symptoms maybe within 12 to 14 hours. Okay,
Wow.
Oh, wow.
and so I
Wow.
got myself to the clinic. I had to get a shot, and I had to get pills, of course. But the thing that hurt the most was the culture that they had to get from me. And fellas, if you don't know already where to get the culture from,
Did they get that
they
Q-tip?
get that little
Don't
Q-tip.
tell them, because it ain't gonna go.
No, but no, this is
Shoot.
important. They got to go. If
You
you
got
know
to
that
go.
something's going on with you, they're gonna take the little Q-tip, and it's a long one, and they're gonna go inside of your, you know,
Urethra.
your urethra, and they're gonna put about this much in there, okay? And they're going to clean it out so they can make sure that it is exactly what they're treating you for, and to verify what strand it is, and to create a board of statistics so you can be added for that year. So the thing is, what am I saying? I'm saying to all my people in Dallas County, listen, Houston had a syphilis outbreak maybe about 10, 15 years ago. They took drastic measures in making sure that everybody was tested. Even homeless people had syphilis. It was bad. So what am I saying to everybody? Please take yourself to the doctor. Please get tested. Protect yourself. Listen,
Protection, education.
do it all that you need to, because listen, I have a little niece that's about to go to Prairie View. You know, I want my little niece to be careful.
Just
You guys are
college
about
in
to
general.
you're about to have children that are going off to different schools. It doesn't matter if it's a black school or a white school. Let's prepare our children. Let's prepare ourselves,
Yep.
because you know we got to be careful, because even married people get STDs too. So the thing is that you just be careful what you got going on, you know, and wrap it up. Mo, what's the next subject? I'm just saying, you know, I can be frank about that because I don't have
Right.
gonorrhea now.
And if you cheated on your SATs, you probably cheat on your spouse, or you probably cheat on your thing going to college. So go ahead.
What's the next, Mo?
Mo,
What's the
I
next?
deal with it. All right, mass incarceration.
Oh,
The private prison sector worth billions.
Billions.
Now, my thing, now you
Let's
know
talk
what?
about that.
Help me with this, the mass incarceration.
Y'all gotta put some money in my meter. Go ahead.
Help them, Jesus.
Just so I won't forget.
Mass incarceration. You said to remind you at 11:30. Is
But
that
I'm
wrong?
gonna put it in there while it's on my mind, because I'm gonna forget. Go ahead.
Last. Okay, so
Put some in mine.
Q gave us this whole thing to watch about the 13th Amendment.
No, I did that.
Oh, you
I did that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's from the documentary.
So
There's
I
a
am.
documentary out there, she doesn't watch it.
yeah, so we was talking about, you know, looking at the whole documentary, and it talked about how, you know, from slavery, we got the
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow, and then from Jim Crow you got you know, basically the quote unquote justice system that basically targets people of color based on little to no real reason to criminalize their actions, and the fact that a lot of prisons are now for profit, and it's not for any other reason but to make money and get free labor.
Exactly.
So, since you brought this up, Sunshine, why don't
Yes.
you give us a little background on where you were going with this?
Where I was going with this is the overall moneymaker and continued enslavement of black, i.e. people of color, that is still continuing today. One thing that was made a point in the documentary of 13th was every time we evolve and think we have gotten one step ahead, they reinvent.
Slavery.
So we've gone from slavery to chain gangs, because it's like, okay, well, we've lost our free labor from slavery, so how else can we do it? Oh, we're gonna create this 13th Amendment in which everybody is excluded except for criminals. Okay, so we're gonna make you a criminal because you were jaywalking. We're gonna make you a criminal because you threw some trash on the ground. We're gonna make you a criminal because of this. And now we've got our free labor, and you're gonna build our roads, and you're gonna build our railways, and you're gonna do this, and you're gonna do that. And then, okay, we've taken it too far, we've abused it, shame on us. And this is what we're gonna do now. Now we're in segregation, we've got Jim Crow laws. Well, now what can we do to, get our free labor here?
Cases wouldn't even been found. If we had done right by Trayvon Martin, if we had boycotted Florida, if we had boycotted all the corporations headquartered out of Florida, if black people would have used their money in their mouths for something other than say, let's wear a damn Trayvon Martin hoodie t-shirt, we would have, but you know what, we're our own worst enemies. Now, mass incarceration is a bad thing, don't get me wrong, but how we can circumvent that or improve that, build up our damn families.
Yeah.
All black people,
Yeah.
on Facebook, I have to block these people, black men around. You're our black queens. I'm like, you're a heterosexual black man over the age of 35, and you ain't married to a black woman, a white woman, or a green woman. What kind of family are you talking about? You want to put a black woman on a pedestal, but she's good enough to put on a pedestal, but she's not good enough to marry? Don't tell me about making a family, and you looking at the sidelines talking about, ooh, black women are so great. You should marry a white man. We're marrying people who will marry us so we can start a family. How about you do the same?
Hold up, Mo. Now I gotta.
You got a dog in his hunt.
Yeah, I got a dog in his hunt, and I will say this: I agree with you. However, I agree with you to the point that there is nothing wrong with cheering on the black woman. There's nothing wrong with that because I do. Hey, I go for you. However, what good does it do you to get married and then get divorced?
And what good does it do you to marry a person that you may not even supposed to be with in the first place?
Okay, well, let's try this. In the mass incarceration, did you look at the documentary?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
I have not looked at it.
I have not.
I have not looked at it.
But you tell me you watched it. When they look at those people and you give me the statistics, what percentage did not have a father in their life?
They don't tell you that.
What percentage came from a broken home?
I'm saying you ever had that was
Well, what percentage came from an unstable background without a strong family?
And that argument right there is exactly why I'm not married yet. Because if I get married, it's not for in between now and no. I want it to be forever.
You're missing the point.
Okay.
Even if you get married and divorced, you're still gonna be in that child's life.
Touche.
Some people are having babies like they bitches on the street, having babies and dropping them, and they don't have that male role model.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pee standing up. There's some men I know who pee sitting down, but that's a whole nother argument. But what you got to do is you can tell somebody how to pee standing up.
Can I say this real quick?
What?
Every man takes a piss sitting down. I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, because
I'm using that in a vernacular that you're a woman. No, I'm not using to take a boo-boo.
I'm just
I'm talking about
saying.
using the vernacular of being a woman.
Come on,
But I still feel like that argument is irrelevant for the simple fact that there are strong men that have been raised by women.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the exception to the rule, because you're talking about mass incarceration. So I'm trying to see what the numbers are that they didn't have that family background, because I want to change it. And the only way to change it is a strong family.
Here's and this is the part, Mo, where another part where I disagree with you.
Oh,
I will give it to you that having a strong home, having a strong home helps, but it's not the end all be all.
But it helps.
It helps. So it's part of, and that's the thing we have to remember. There is not one silver bullet solution.
Okay, so your definition of strong family is it could be
Part of it.
It could be male, female. It could be just a strong family unit. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
part of it. Having a strong family unit is part of it.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. However, the other part is educating people. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. I've talked, like I said, I got friends from every background. The one thing that shocks them is the point at which most of them never even had to talk with a male figure in their life, or their mother, or their aunt, or somebody about how to interact with police.
Mhm.
Just like what you said,
Mhm.
I was told that at like the age of 10.
Right.
Like, but then I talked to my other friends and stuff, and then what really shocked me, because, in high school, went to a predominantly black high school. So everybody knew the rules.
Mhm.
You knew what to do. However, when you go to college and you go to a PWI institution, as I did, you hang out with, because I'm not known to like shun people because of the color. I hung out with my white friends, Asian friends, Hispanic friends, my black friends. Didn't matter. I don't care. We having a good time. It's cool. However, I was hanging out with my white friends, and I'm the only black guy in the car. So it's like, whatever, cool. We going to get something to eat. Guy gets pulled over. Now he was speeding. Why the hell you pulled me over? The first thing he said to the cop.
Mhm.
It's just like, whoa, wait a minute.
Mhm.
You can't say that. And the cop didn't do anything.
Mhm.
However, I got pulled over in Calvert. You know about Calvert, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know about Calvert, Mo.
Is that North Texas?
No. That's that little stretch of Highway 6 that's off of 35 when you pass through Waco. When you're going down to Bryan, going to
You on the back way to PV off 35, going toward Waco.
Oh, the back way.
Yeah, the back way.
Don't do it. Don't
Yeah,
do
oh,
it.
no. Yeah, I did that once,
Yeah.
and I'm like, look, I'm cool. I ain't, I'm gonna go through the little town. I ain't gonna be speeding. Cop had me pulled over for 2 hours
Mhm.
because he thought my tint on my car was too dark.
Too dark.
Didn't have no one. I wasn't speeding. I was a young black guy in a car he felt it was too nice for me to have.
I mean,
Real quick, let's continue this conversation in a second. Miss Sunshine, take us to break, and when we come back from break, we're going to continue this conversation about mass incarceration. Go ahead, Miss Sunshine.
All right, so we're going to break with Kendrick Lamar, Complexion, and Get Up, Stand Up, The Wailers.
That's what
Get
I'm
up,
Bob
stand
Marley.
Yeah.
I know that.
Marley.
Get up, stand up.
Yeah.
I don't know the
We'll be
other
right back.
words. Get up, stand up. That's all I know the song when I hear it.
Y'all, another documentary I highly recommend. Who Shot the Sheriff? Remastered Bob Marley story.
Oh, wait, they did another one? They
Remastered it.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Someone, I was wondering why it wasn't all four of us.
I don't know. It's not
See,
giving
like,
me.
looking at it. See
I'm-
what it does?
That's on
It's-
yours.
Like I said,
It's on
you
mine.
have to mess with it. It's something about the rotation, something. Good morning, Terrence. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Maybe it'll be better if you do a round table.
Just kind of like it doesn't show
Like go around
me.
like this?
It doesn't show me everybody
A round table.
around table.
Okay.
Because maybe it can't wide enough. Can't do it wide enough.
I think
I don't
it's
know. It's just his phone because I see all four of us. You
Let
see?
me, let me get my.
I like on the
friend
watch
Nancy, one
party,
from
because I'm
the
doing a watch party on my
I
feed.
did one too.
You did one too? Yeah. So like on the watch party it shows. See, this is what it does, like on my phone.
But yeah, it'll trip. Yeah. I don't know. Technology, y'all. Technology. Are we too dependent as a people?
hell yeah.
Make sure we
Oh,
like,
yeah.
love, share. Leave your comments below. If you ain't commenting, we don't know what your opinions are.
That's right.
So therefore, we don't care.
No, you know what the funny thing is? Like, it's amazing these kids. They
What
like,
you see?
like my buddy's a teacher,
Yeah.
and he told them to go pull a lock. He gave them an assignment to go get a book out the library. Find a book. He's like, you can Google the book. I don't care how you, but find it in the library, and you got 20 minutes. Like, if you come back with a book, you get an A. You come back, I need to write down the name of the book. Go to the library. You got 20 minutes to come back and get it. You know, he's like, dude, like half my class failed.
Wow.
Half the class failed. And he said the funny part about the ones that failed, he was like, it was funny because he's like, the black kids, they got it. It's like most Hispanic kids, they got it. The white kids were lost. He was like, I thought they would be the. He thought the inverse would happen. He was just like, it's interesting. They're so like people are getting so caught up.
Good morning,
on
Dana.
technology.
What's up? I see you.
It's crazy.
I tell people all the time. I tell people all the time. If this is our future, we are fucked.
But no, don't say that, Mom. They said the same thing about us growing up.
Well, I think
They said the same thing
Yeah,
about
they
us.
have
know
these
what?
socialization skills. They can't speak to you.
they have no social skills because their interaction is this right here. You know, that's why I think it's important that we don't just visualize here and there online, get to know each other, but meet up. You know, have a pop-up meetup at the coffee shop. Have a pop-up meetup out at the White Cloran Park. You know, what did I say? Why?
Why,
Whatever.
Lauren?
But I mean,
But you're doing good.
Get
You're
out.
drinking, so you're doing good.
Mo,
Well, you were drinking.
Reggie, I think you need to scoot in a little bit.
No, but that's the thing.
But
y'all.
you know, we need to engage, not just online, but in person.
Yeah.
But there's so many people who are not accepted by who they know. And they can only find acceptance through people who are like them, look like them, act like them online. That's like gamers. Oh my God, I'm trying to get in touch with Shroud. Shroud is a 23-year-old gamer who made $1.something million last year. And when I tell you he looks like a damn vampire with those things under his eyes, he's up at all
Because they no
times of the
sleep.
night.
No sleep.
None. Talking to people.
Oh.
Well, watching him play a game.
Oh yeah.
Let me see if I got this right. You're watching him play a video game. Are you doing? No, we're watching him play the game. And then they're talking to each other.
Mhm. They get on the headsets, they play games, and then they videotape themselves playing games with other people playing the game.
I'm telling you like this.
That's
I don't want to be
Crazy.
messing around with them.
You know.
I have friends who have kids, and we don't need to talk about their ethnicity, but one will be in one room playing one Xbox, and the other one will be in the other room playing another Xbox, and they playing each other in different rooms.
And
That's common.
it.
That's crazy.
And you know what? Y'all say it's crazy. However, I remember in high school us getting together as a football team and making ourselves
Hey, everybody.
players on Madden. And we had a football team on Madden that was all the players
What's
in
up,
our entire
everybody?
high school
You
roster.
too?
But y'all getting together
What's up?
doing
What's
it.
up,
But
everybody?
again,
What's up? What's
that's
up?
only
What's up?
because
What's up?
everybody didn't
Remember,
have a
I got a
PlayStation.
trivia
at the time.
question.
Everybody
That's
didn't.
on my
Everybody
Facebook
didn't
page
have
right now.
access to it.
The
So we
trivia
would all
question
get together
is,
and chop it up.
JJ
But
Evans
they
on
doing the
Good
same
Times
thing.
had 5
They doing the same thing in
girlfriends
the own.
that he always
We
talk
can't-
about.
It's
I
not.
gave you 2 of the girls.
It's not saying that
Boom Boom
it's
Belinda.
wrong. We
and
don't
Samantha
get
the
it
Human
because we
Panther.
don't understand it.
Who are
And
the
this
other
is the
3?
thing that I'm trying.
If you
I
can
always
name
try
all
to get
5
all
of these
people to
ladies,
understand is that
you may
our
get a prize.
generation, people
Make
didn't
sure you
understand
share,
us
give us some
because
hearts,
that
give us
it
some
was-
thumbs up,
there
like
was
us,
nothing more
follow
hurtful
us, and we're gonna
than
get started the
telling
show
me that
again,
I was not
and
gonna
we're gonna
live to
finish
see
talking
21.
about mass incarceration. We'll see you in
And
a
they was
second.
like, oh, because you do this and you do this and you do this and
You
you do
too.
this. You're not going to live to see 21 because of the older generation. As we get older, we do not understand the new generation. There's nothing wrong with not
Hold it
understanding.
down, Nick.
It's more so a fact
Not this
of
time, I didn't do it.
how can I understand what you're going through so I can prepare you to help you propel to the next level. Because you do some of the old school stuff that you need to know that's going to help propel you.
Okay, here's something that I bet you didn't know. They don't know how to use email. Everybody who has a Chromebook, you know, in these high schools, they give them.
Tell me.
Can you write a check? What happens when your debit card don't work?
Wait a minute, if your debit card don't
You
work,
are
your
lying.
check ain't gonna work.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is your boy,
Well,
P.
everything's got a chip nowadays. Just because you have the card doesn't mean the strip's gonna.
And guys, make sure you hit the red button, subscribe. Also, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. So, real quick, let's continue with our that, Mo, this is another thing.
And how many of those are there that are unjustly
I've been
there?
saying,
Right,
I mean,
right,
oh, that's the thing,
right.
like, that's why, we have those oaths in place, because let's just say if you were sent to prison, let's say for tax evasion, for example, and I got sent to prison because I killed 2 people. Well, it doesn't matter who did the crime and what you did, even though, for example, your crime did not inflict harm on a person. I hurt somebody.
But I inflicted harm on the
But you
government.
inflicted
I messed
harm
with,
on
I
something
messed
totally
with
different.
Uncle Sam.
By emotions, Mo, if you are a doctor, you will look at me as the worst person. Why? Because I hurt someone else. And she didn't. She just interrupted the system for just a moment and got a little bit of an increase. So I'm saying that sometimes, should they, have better health care? Absolutely. Do they? Probably not. But we also have to keep in mind that most of these ladies and gentlemen that are coming out of these prisons are coming out of an institution that has been abusive to them, and they have not gotten good care, whether it's physically or mental. And so, should they have the best care? Well, probably. I'm worried about Bill Cosby, and we know that he's not, in a particular place,
He's not guilty.
that, they watching him because he's Bill Cosby, because he's in Gen Pop now.
And he's not
So-
guilty.
And so the thing is that I think about, I'm just going right on over that. I think about his health. I think about how people are treating him if someone tries to hurt him. I think about all of that. So prisons, and mass incarceration, pharmaceuticals, is all one big industry to make one big dollar.
I agree.
One big dollar. And so I guess on that note,
Profits over people.
on that note, real quick, I just want to say thank everybody for watching the show. Records that, hold on, let me grab one. I thought that y'all took them all off the table, and I guess that's okay. Make sure that you catch the after party live. That's going to be held at the Brick House Lounge on April the 4th.
May the 4th.
May
the
the
4th be
4th.
with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
God dog. Thank y'all. I appreciate
So
it.
on our show for May the 4th, y'all gonna see us go from here to Brick House Lounge.
Here to
And
Brick
the
House Lounge.
Lounge is in
Arlington, Texas.
Texas.
25.
360 in Arkansas.
Yep.
What's the address? So we can put it in the little Google.
2525 East Arkansas Lane in Arlington, Texas. 76010, featuring some of the best and award-winning podcasters from the After Party Radio. Miss Bree of Grown Folks Talking will be in the house. Mr. Boss Hogg of the Petty Crew will be moderating the show. Amber of Diversely Outspoken is going to be there. Your boy Q of Master Gas Talk Radio is going to be there. And my boy Kimbo of Hustlenomics is going to be
Now,
there.
let me ask you something about that. Now, Boss Hogg, he's gonna be moderating, so he ain't gonna be on the panel, right?
No, he's not going to be on panel this
He get
time.
into it every time I see him, because he's always wrong.
Mo, you say the same thing about me and Q.
But shit, it's
So that
I'm
means
just
like
saying,
this much.
we're always
Boss
wrong.
Hogg is always wrong. He says it's blue outside, I say it's red, because he don't know how to tell colors. So he just gonna be moderating.
He's going to be moderating.
Oh, you don't need to give him no mic. Boss Hogg, Sundays, you don't need nobody.
Wow. Listen, check this out. Also, make sure that you go online. Master Gas, we're going to be posting our actual ticket link on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. Make sure you guys get your pre-sale tickets at $15. It's going to be $20 at the door. Make sure that you guys come out. The title of our podcast this time is going to be Trapped in the Closet. Real quick, we're going to be having an open dialogue of breaking ties that binds us. So, real quick, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this or not, but I believe I got the first segment, right? I got segment 1, and my segment is when people hate on your come up.
Oh, well,
When people hate on your come up.
So they
So,
got food there?
they will have food and beverages there.
Do I have to buy the food and the beverages?
Yes, you do,
Yes.
Mom.
Okay, well, let me know so I can bring $2.
You don't need more than $2.
Oh.
Make sure you bring your money for the shots.
What
For
shots?
I'm sure we're gonna have a group activity for everybody.
Mo gonna need
to
some
bring the
shots of water.
Bring
You
your money
were
with your
just
shots.
talking
Shots
about,
of water
we were
for
just talking
Mo.
about chlamydia and stuff, and I was like, what shots is he giving? Oh, shots to drink. Hey, 2525.
East Arkansas Lane.
It's on May 4th. May the 4th be with
With
you.
you.
Yeah.
At the Brick House Lounge from
Brick
3 p.m.
House Lounge.
to 6 p.m. So it's gonna be in the afternoon. Hey guys, come on out and see your boy Q and see the rest of them MTG crew. Come on out there so we can shake some shit up out there. And then tell you what, we have to be careful with our language. The last time I know we went over, but we gotta be careful of our language. So
You
I
can't
want
say
y'all
no
to.
curse words.
You say cuss words, but you can't say like bitch, hoe, trick, fuck, stuff like that. So you gotta make sure that you you know be
Okay, if we
in
can
line.
say all that, what is it?
But we on
No,
the
you
B
can't
side.
say that. No.
We on the B
At the event,
These
you
are
gotta
the
watch
nice
them
people.
out.
We're with the nice
Okay.
people on May
Yeah.
4th at 2525
East Arkansas.
East Arkansas,
Arkansas, Arlington.
in Arlington, Texas.
Live and after party.
3
Oh my
p.m. to
gosh.
6 p.m. You come see you
And
guys
we got
out
food
here.
and drink.
They got food and
Okay,
drink.
so
2525 East Arkansas, May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
That's right.
So yeah, that's one of the things that we have to watch when we go out and have live events. Cause on the B side of the after party, we could do us.
We do it.
However, we'll have to be a little more reserved
Mindful.
and
We've been
mindful.
doing good though at our pop-ups. We really haven't been cussing that
That's
much.
because y'all be eating at the pop-up.
That's true. That's true. I
Y'all,
got it.
y'all, brunchaholics don't be running out of food because y'all be there. Come on, y'all, come on. Y'all don't be getting in line to get the food. And everybody
I
be
know.
taking all y'all food.
We got a pre-order.
Yeah. Hey, but hey, you know what? When you have a good
What we
reputation
doing
with
at
people,
what we
it is-
doing at Brunchaholics today anyway?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all go to Brunch of Hollis. And real quick, shout out to my boy Alton Newkirk. Alton, look, I know that Miss Sunshine is your co-worker. And so she didn't know, I don't think that she knows that I know you, but I tell you what, thank you so much. If you want to come assist us with being our cameraman, you sure can come on to the show and be our cameraman. Thank you so much. I sure appreciate that. We all appreciate
Somehow
that.
I don't think him being a cameraman has anything to do with our show and has everything to do with someone else. What you think?
And so the after party live again,
Nothing to do with you, Hendrix. Nobody.
May the
nobody
4th be with you.
May 4th.
So it's now time for our encouraging words.
Oh, that was it.
So we
that was my encouraging word.
we mashed the gas before we got
I
here.
know.
We only
Don't
put
miss
gas
out.
to start the show.
I
Did you
know.
have anything you want to mash the gas on today?
No, everything is very nice.
Would you
Very
give us
nice.
some encouragement words on today, Moses?
Well, you know what you're gonna have to do? Family first. Now, family doesn't have to be blood. Family can be your friends. Because I've got a number of people who their family are just tricks. We can't say that at the Brick House Lounge.
You say tricks.
Tricks, I can say that at the Brick House Lounge on May 4th at 2525 East Arkansas, 3
Yes.
p.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes.
on May 4th.
Yes.
Okay, but I just want to let everyone know, family first, but it doesn't have to be blood. Family, you got friends who are there with you. I got friends who I've been friends with 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they ain't my family. So
That's right.
family first.
That's right. Okay, Hendrix, what you got, bro?
You know what? Don't sound repetitive, but you know what? I just keep going back to that old thing we used to say at the K. We used to get hyped up for football games. Well, hell, any kind of sport actually. You know, always give the best that I have. If I should get tired, sit down, rest a while, get up, fight some more. Never give up. So yeah, I'm
right.
gonna rock with
That's
that
how
one.
you do it. That's
Yeah.
how you do it, baby.
Miss Sunshine, what you got?
You know what? Sometimes you just gotta take a little time for nothing.
Mm,
That's good.
yeah.
You know, as much as I busted yesterday, I took a little time for nothing.
That's good.
You-
Literally looked at the grass, at the dirt, at
Wow.
the trees, at the sky. Remember when you were a kid, you used to lay in the grass and you used to look at the clouds, see all the different shapes that were, you know what? Take a little time for nothing. We all need a little nothing.
I'm not mad at you, but I'm mad at the dirt.
You know what?
The dirt ain't do nothing to you.
I'm telling you.
She was mad at the dirt yesterday.
Oh, you mad at the dirt, the weeds, the
I'm not mad at the dirt, but no,
Mad
it
at
was
everybody.
actually in the dirt. Of course, I've got some sand in there, but it's amazing what you see, what you don't normally see.
Oh, shit. I'm trying to figure out
what's
what. You know what? Like
Y'all
I
need
said,
a
after
microscope, y'all.
after last Wednesday night, I put nothing past you.
Are y'all still going on that thing about the stuff in her mouth?
No,
No.
that's you, Mo.
That was,
Cause y'all was talking about
All up in my mouth.
No.
All be all in my mouth.
No,